Do not forsake me, oh my darling. She certainly doesn't in the end. She even betrays her Quaker beliefs for him. She shoots a man dead, in the back, for him. To be fair, if the town hadn't been ungrateful cowards, this might never have happened. I was thinking about the 1954 Alan Glenn picture Silver Load, a film I quite love, and previously discussed on FOTD. That film is obviously inspired directly by 1952's High Noon, an undisputed classic of American cinema, firmly embedded into the canonical Rushmore of old Hollywood. Silver Load has been dismissed as a rip-off of High Noon, although I have made the claim that Silver Load was a better High Noon. It was High Noon without the vaguely terrible ending. Even the whole fact of her being held hostage and then distracting Miller as she escapes, allowing Will Kane's victory, just always seemed clumsy to me, honestly. But, however, like I am now willing to ignore bad, tasteless, out-of-place humour in John Ford's The Searchers, because the rest of it is just so powerful, I feel very similarly about Fred Zinnemann's High Noon. The precision of this film's editing, its fluid direction, coupled with crisp cinematography courtesy of Floyd Crosby, then marinated with Dmitry Tiomkin's score, it is one of the finest achievements of technical filmmaking in old Hollywood, not just for its attention to detail, but its relevance in evoking a mood within a narrative, simulating a drama whilst being potentially filmic, in an artistically modernist manner somewhat, although the narrative is so heavy, and its evocations by its compositional structure so pronounced, so as to be unnoticed by a casual observer. Someone who watches old Hollywood extensively is in immediate understanding of High Noon's technical finesse. It truly stands out above the pack. I love Silver Load, I consider it superior narratively and probably thematically too, although as a piece of technical filmmaking, Zinnemann has likely crafted the superior work, as much as I love the colour photography of John Alton. I remember I once chose to do a film studies assignment on High Noon, it being one of the few choices one could select from. I received a credit for it. For anyone who knows the New South Wales education system, God help you if you do. As a result, I've always had a place for High Noon in my heart, although I remember when I first watched it at age, I think, 16, I wasn't really having it at all. Now, Will Kane is not only a model American, he is a model man. A brave, selfless man. Yes, selfless. No, Frank Miller and them were not going to leave that town peacefully, obviously. So yes, Will Kane put his life on the line to save them when he didn't have to. It was about his pride too, it was about his living up to the role of lawman, but let's be realistic. It was about baiting violent criminals out so that he could put himself on the line and then, weed them out, eliminate them. It's a little bit vigilante perhaps, but, well, let's get into this. Remember, I said in my Silver Load upload, High Noon was anti-McCarthy but pro-Korea. This film certainly isn't a pacifist film, which Silver Load arguably is, or at least a film that is explicitly, vehemently against vigilante justice. High Noon, on the other hand, isn't necessarily against vigilante justice, and it certainly isn't pacifistic. We might debate the difference between vigilante justice, self-defense, and or even a provoked assault. Maybe one could argue that Will Kane brought it on himself? I don't necessarily believe that, but someone hypothetically may. I'm very curious as to what others think about High Noon in this day and age. I'd imagine still positively, but I don't know. Am I acting a bit puerile in regard to the ending and my criticism of it? I do not know. Nevertheless, a stellar film, I think, in spite of any minute critiques I made here. You all have a tremendous day, wherever you are.